Hey guys, this is Christine and long time no video again. MCAT season was a little bit crazy, but I'm back. New background again. I feel like every video's new background, but yeah, I'm in my apartment at school. I'm a junior now. Started my third year about 2 weeks ago. Already had tests. I have another test coming up. It's kind of been crazy, but so today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I study. I think having a study regime that works for you and you're comfortable with and you're confident in it is a key in being successful as a college student. So this may not work for you because I am a visual and auditory learner. You might be more hands-on or vocal learner. You have to find out what truly is effective for you. But when I was a freshman in college, actually, I looked up how to study videos. I looked up, blog posts on how people study. I wanted to know what's the most efficient and effective way because you're only given so much time in a day. And if you're pursuing this pre-med path, you just have so much to do in this little time called 24-hour frame. So I understand. And I'm so glad that you're here watching this video because that's honestly the first step. Just being curious and being actively involved in creating your own study routine. So the first thing I do to study, so I'm going to talk about it in kind of a timeline, what I do. But first is priming my brain. So what does that mean, priming your brain? So remember you took AP Bio in high school or AP Chemistry and it was really difficult, and then you got through it and you got like an awesome score on your AP score, but then you come to college and then you realize, or your health professional counselors tell you, your medical school wants to actually see that you took the course in college, so sorry, you can't claim it. So now you have to go take that course again. Kind of happened to me. But did you realize how much easier it was when you went to college and you took that intro to bio course again? Like, it was so hard back in high school, but it was a breeze, right, in college, because you've already been exposed to that information. It's not your first time seeing it. You might have forgotten all the details, but it came back to you pretty quick. So that's the whole point in primacy, or priming effect, is just getting your brain ready for the lecture. And this is also going to save you a lot of time by using your lecture time as studying time. I'm going to explain that in a little bit, but so it's nothing too serious, priming your brain. I wouldn't spend more than 30 minutes to an hour max. So usually professors will provide you a prospective schedule of the course and of lecture topics, and sometimes they even provide you, like, I want you to read chapter this for this lecture. So utilize that. My biochemistry professor, actually, I'm going to use science courses as examples. I utilize this strategy for a lot of my courses that are non-science, but I think it'll be easier to explain in terms of science. So yeah, my biochemistry professor on the syllabus, he gave us a schedule for the entire year. So lecture 1, we're going to be talking about proteins, primary structure, and then lecture 2, the 3D structures of protein, blah, blah, blah. So I know exactly what he's going to be, teaching us that lecture. So I'm going to tell you guys some ways you can prime your brain. What I like to do is I like to actually go ahead and read the textbook. I don't read it too much in detail because I know I'm not going to get it in the first try, right? So I'm reading, I focus on the bold words, I read, and then I'm like, wait, what the heck is this talking about? I move on, and that's what I do. I just kind of get myself familiar with the topic. There are a lot of other ways to prime your brain. Something that I used to like to do is watch like Khan Academy videos, especially during MCAT season. It was so we were having a lecture on cardiovascular system and the effect of like troponin and actin and myosin and all this crazy like sarcoplasmic reticulum bursting out calcium ions, and I'm just like trying to read the textbook and I had no idea what it was talking about. So I watched the video, which by the way, if you're a science student, definitely take advantage of Khan Academy Medicine. There is this one lecturer named Rishi. He's a phenomenal lecturer. I believe he's like pediatrics PhD. I don't know, but he is incredible. So highly recommend. But I watched the video and I still didn't get it 100%, but at least I had like an idea of how it looked, like because they draw it out. And then I went to lecture and then I was like, oh, okay. So watching videos like Khan Academy, Crash Course, Brightstorm, they're all very good resources. So I know not everyone has the time to read the textbook. I certainly don't a lot of times. And so those days what I did, I would just read the summary page of the book. It's like a paragraph or two about that whole entire chapter. So I'm just reading it. It takes me like 5 minutes. Or if I'm literally running out of time, like on my way to class, I would actually kind of skim through the PowerPoint lectures that I printed out before class. So anything to just expose your brain to the information. So why this is so important is because it allows you to use lecture time as studying time actually. So you're gonna go to class, you're gonna make effort to put on clothes, wash yourself, and look presentable to the society. And you woke up. That's the most important thing. You woke up. You put all this effort into going to class, so might as well let that hour frame be efficient for you, right? So when you have already exposed your brain, this is awesome because you get to catch nuances during the lecture. You're gonna, hear your professor repeating certain things over and over again, and also like you're gonna catch, oh yeah, I was reading that and I had no idea what the heck it was talking about. So now you're gonna pay a little bit more attention. So that's really awesome. Whereas if you had no idea, this was like your first time going to lecture and first time seeing the information, then you're really going to be overwhelmed. Like you're going to be frantically writing down what you don't even understand, and then you're going to be stressed out thinking about how many hours do I have to spend in the library trying to understand this, trying to read the textbook, trying to dig it by myself. It's so stressful. So I'm telling you, this is actually saving you a lot of time and stress and anxiety. At least for me. And so you went to lecture, and after lecture, or either so the day of or the day after, within 24-hour frame, because that's when it's the most fresh in your brain. So I actually read the book again, but this time in detail. If the lecture is super clear, which actually happened for my organic chemistry class because my professor, he actually wrote the book. So his lectures were incredible. Like it was so clear. I didn't even actually have to read the book because he just repeated, the things that were written in the book. And if I had to, or if I did read the book, it would have been a waste of time actually. So because you're only giving certain amount of hours in a day, prioritize, right? Know if you have to read the book or not. But what I like to do for biochem is I do like to read the book. And I read it for this purpose, is to get a big picture and get a good understanding of the topic. I feel like when I'm just studying from my notes, and notes only, I feel like I'm just memorizing things. And to me, understanding in a big picture, kind of like a storyline, I actually remember it because I understood it, versus me having to sit for hours and hours flipping through note cards. That's just so inefficient for me, at least. So I like to know what I'm studying, and plus I'm majoring in biochem, and I'm interested in biochem, right? So I want to be fluent in biochem. So that's why I like to read the book, and it's actually fascinating what you can learn from the book. And as I read, I like to take notes. Depending on the difficulty of the class, I will take detailed notes if I have to, versus like if I don't really need to read the book, I just, do a basic paraphrasing of the paragraph or of the page. And so now you have the lecture notes and you have your book notes, right? So I'll show an example. I have my biochem stuff right here. So this is like a PowerPoint note packet that my professor always posts on mine before class. Not all of my professors do this, but it's nice. So these notes are, I never write down anything on the board because it's already here. But yeah, like the side writings are the points that he was trying to get across. Like I could tell he was emphasizing it. So, I just take notes. This is my lecture note, right? And then I have my book notes, which I don't have the book with me right now, but I take an A4 paper like this, and I start creating my own version of good copy notes. So this is an example of that lecture. Yeah, and I basically just combined my lecture notes with my book knowledge. And after doing this, I go do all my practice problems, right? Like practice tests that your professor posts, book problems if I still get bogged down by a certain topic. And about a week or 4 days before my test, or actually depending on the load of the material, this can be like 2 weeks in advance, I actively study my notes. So this is where this bad boy comes in, this whole good copy notes. Because you might think like, why do you have to create that? Like that's such a waste of time. But this is the golden ticket to actively studying. You can see a whiteboard over there. It's my trusty friend that I use to study. And what I do is I take my good copy notes. This has my lecture notes. This has all the things that I knew or I think is important from the book. I take this and then I get a whiteboard marker and I just rewrite it. And I step back, kind of look at the big picture, come back, rewrite, erase things, and try to fill in the blank. And it's just I'm standing. I'm not just sitting down, eating chips, reading my notes. That's passive studying. I'm actively studying, and that actually helps me understand a lot better for some reason, and remember a lot better. And I told you I'm a visual learner, so I kind of like have this photographic image of what I wrote on my whiteboard. And whiteboards are everywhere. Libraries have them, study rooms have them. I will always just carry a whiteboard marker with me. And yeah, so that way I have this confidence that all the stuff I wrote in here and all the effort that I put in is now in my brain, from the whiteboard to my brain. So that's what I do to study. And I just make sure, to go over the problems that I keep getting wrong, and, concepts that I seem to forget a lot. So that's how I study. And I would like to talk about other things that do play a role in my studying routine. I don't think it'd be fair if I didn't mention them. So I pray for my studies. I don't pray that, I'm going to get a certain grade, like I want this. I don't pray like that. I pray that I'll be reminded why I'm studying, why, I'm a student, and just to be humbled by all the knowledge that I'm gaining from all my science courses. That's one of the reasons I love science, is because I see this perfection in creation, and I really get to learn a lot about the Creator. Also, I pray that I'll be able to use this for God's glory, and to be just motivated and excited, you know, to be using this experience and opportunity for God's kingdom, you know, for His ultimate purpose for me. So yeah, that's a really huge portion of my life and my studies. Also, another thing is eating right. Like, are you eating right? This is actually my green smoothie. Are you eating right? Are you exercising enough? Like, are you keeping your stress level down low? That's so important. I always have an agenda. I have this agenda, which is like a daily agenda, and then I have like a weekly agenda with like time frame, and then I have like a monthly calendar with all my study dates written down. This way it's just easy for me to see. I don't have to make a conscious effort to remember when is my test, when is my quiz. It saves me a lot of time and anxiety. Also, I use color coding system when I take notes. I don't know if you've noticed, but like blue is title, red is like important things. I think it's red. Yeah. Black is just like regular note taking. I use purple for like questions, green for like what professor told me. I know it sounds very like, wow, that's really high maintenance, but it was at first. Like when I was doing this in freshman year, I was like, but now it's just like second nature. In my pencil case, I have a lot of pens. I have really nice stationery. I think that's like fun to have good stationery, nice writing pens. And also, I use a lot of, I utilize office hours. I think it kind of helps you get motivated more when you go to office hours. It saves you a lot of time when you have questions. You don't have to dig the book. You could just ask your professors. And also, you get to learn about your professors, and your professors get to know you. So it's overall a better experience of that class. And before I end this video, I just wanted to say this. Don't give up at your first try, right? If you can understand your calculus-based physics course or your organic chemistry course at one go, you don't need to be in college. Like, you can go test out and just get a PhD. But you are a student, right? You are here to learn. So don't be so harsh on yourself when you don't have it perfect at first try. Just remember that you are a student, and if you are here, for some reason you've been given a talent in academics, and so don't take that for granted. You know, just have the mindset that you are bettering yourself, and you get this opportunity to better yourself as a student every day. So just give your best, you know, don't be so harsh on yourself, and yeah, just be your own encourager. I would just recommend that. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Let me know if you guys have any more requests, and I will get back to you. Bye!